Peace. What's happening, good people? This Gift here for Payusnomind, and let's talk about SoundCloud. What makes it great? What makes it good? What makes it bad? And what makes it ugly? Now, what makes SoundCloud great? What makes SoundCloud great is free promotion. They have a tool called Amplify that they utilize to expose your music to 100 listeners on launch. So every track that you upload can be pushed out to 100 listeners through the algorithm. And these are targeted listeners that they promote your music to based on their listening history. So if somebody is a lo-fi hip hop fan or R&B fan, they'll get your music in their auto queue, which is a automatic song that they serve up when somebody plays a playlist or listens to a song. It's like, here's another one that you might like. So that's what SoundCloud is serving your music up through. And those 100 listeners are valuable because those people could save your music to their library or put it on a personal playlist where it gets more streams from them, as well as gets exposed to more users on the platform, like their friends and things of that nature. They could also share your tracks. They could repost them to their feed where they get exposed to their listeners. So those 100 listeners could springboard you into thousands of listeners, not just from the standpoint of that user's friends and whatever music fans they have access to, but also the algorithm that could be infiltrated through that listener's activity and the listeners that they bring you. And if you've ever advertised on Facebook to try to drive traffic to Spotify and Apple Music and things of that nature, then you know that those 100 listeners could be a value of $1,000 or more, because it's expensive to get a listener on Spotify or Apple Music or one of these streaming platforms from Facebook. The clicks are cheap, but the listeners are expensive. Then you have user-centric payouts. Now, user-centric payouts pays you based on individual listener consumption, where you get 50% of the revenue if that individual listener has streamed your music 50% of the time. So if somebody is paying SoundCloud $10 a month for Go and they stream your music 50% of the time, you get $5 for however many streams they generated for you. So if that person streamed only 10 songs for the month and 5 of the streams was of your music, then you get $5 for 5 streams, right? $1 a stream. So it does not matter how much or how little somebody streams your music. What matters is what percentage of their listening time you account for, which is different from the current system that you see on Spotify and Apple Music, which is a popularity thing, where your streams are put up against the total number of streams. So if you got 5 streams, it's 5 streams versus all of the streams that happened on the platform, point blank period, for the month, which is like billions of streams. And your $10 or the $10 that I'm paying, where I'm streaming your music 50% of the time, that full $10 goes to other artists that aren't you. Then you have advanced stats. Now these stats go beyond what and where by showing you who. So SoundCloud allows you to see who is listening to your music, what songs they're streaming. You can also look and see the type of engagement that they have with that song and where those users reside, like what country they're in, what city they're in, things of that nature, right? And in addition to that, you could also see where your traffic is coming from. That's something that Spotify and a lot of these other platforms don't allow you to see. What makes SoundCloud good is free audio mastering, track swapping, and a whole host of other tools that they give you with a SoundCloud subscription. Now, what makes it bad is you could consider it expensive because they're charging you an annual fee, plus they're taking 20% of the revenue that you generate. Now, this is all relative, because if SoundCloud increases your revenue through user-centric and through their Amplify program, right, where they're saving you like $1,000 or whatever have you, that could compensate for the 20% of revenue that you're losing. So it becomes a matter of, are you getting more than what you're losing? Are you gaining more than what you're losing in that 20%? Now, what makes it ugly, I couldn't really come up with anything that makes SoundCloud ugly, really. Now, if you want a deeper dive into SoundCloud, including analysis on its features and everything you would want to know about utilizing it and getting the most out of it, you can check the payoutsnomind.info website. Also, if you want to compare SoundCloud to any other digital distributor, you can check the payoutsnomind.info website and do that as well. If you want discounts on products and services that we recommend, as well as just to see which products and services we recommend, hit the description box. There's links in there for that, as well as links to the payoutsnomind.info website. Now, as always, you guys can agree to disagree or agree, whatever the case may be. Feel free to reach me at Payusnomind on Instagram, at Payusnomind on Twitter/X, payusnomind@gmail.com. This is Gift, signing off. Pay us no mind. Peace, good people. One.